Welcome. Welcome, everyone. It's Angelo Robles, and those of you live, it is 12 noon on a Monday. I hope you're going to have a great week and a great start to the week, not just because of me, it's because you're awesome. But I think I do have a pretty important subject to talk about. It is most focused on my core emphasis on the single family office, but does it apply to multifamily offices, to wealth management companies, to entrepreneurs, and broadly to everyone that is looking to hire people? And people are still the most important determinant to the quality of a family office and broadly any organization. Probably the big three are people, technology, and systems. Technology is moving far up the ranks. And one day, maybe number one, and maybe that one day is not too far away. But for now, incredible people are still the most important. So without further ado, I'll do some housekeeping notes at the end. Why don't we effectively get right into it? So I call this the seats that decide everything. Family offices, especially single family offices, really have an unfair advantage in the war. It's always war for talent. And almost none of them are using it. Now, in theory, they often have no HR department. Look at that as being a positive, by the way. Oh, there's a way to do it right, but we'll save that for a different time. So they have no HR departments writing their woke playbooks, no committee voting on culture fit, no bureaucracy demanding you justify an unconventional hire to 3 layers of management that wouldn't know creativity if it hit them in the butt. You can hire anyone you want, any way you want, and any criteria you choose. This is extraordinary freedom. And most of the family offices, of course, squander it by hiring exactly the way every institution used to work. How they hire. They recreate the machine that in today's world is already failing. Here is what the machine actually did. The corporate world spent 50 years perfecting a system to produce predictable teams. They had structured interviews, personality assessments, pedigree filters, and quietly, without anyone intending it, they built a pipeline that reliably surfaced the same kind of person, perhaps polished, credentialed, politically calibrated, deeply uncomfortable with genuine uncertainty. And in today's world, you better get comfortable with the uncomfortable. You better be resilient. The people who thought differently, that saw things differently, that worked differently, they got screened out early and went somewhere else. Now, over the last couple of decades, especially the last 10 years, where did they go? Oh, I don't know. They built Google, Tesla, SpaceX, and many other incredible companies. They built the AI systems that are now sitting inside your Bloomberg terminal and your deal flow software and your risk models. The people that the machine, the system, the bureaucracy, and your bureaucracy rejected built the world that the machine and really everything runs on now. Now, that is not irony, it's a signal. And in a family office, specifically a single family office, but I'm going to state this applies to anyone who's hiring. With everything riding on a small number of seats, that's most of you, that signal should change how you think about every hire you make from this day forward. Don't you think you want to hire someone who's going to be open-minded, creative, and AI proficient? Come on. Like along with character and ethic, like these are foundational in today's world. How AI has now fundamentally rewritten the talent equation, and most people have not caught up to what that really means in practice. The person whose entire value was knowing more than anyone else in the room about a specific thing, AI has democratized that knowledge. The analyst who was exceptional at synthesis and research. AI now does that in like minutes. The skills that justified a hire 2 years ago are not the same skills that justify one today. And the 18 months and 18 months from now, come on, that gap widens yet again. It's not a cycle. This is a permanent direction shift, and the acceleration is not going to be slowing down. So the question inside a family office, and I could say any intimate organization, is no longer who knows the most. It is who can think in ways the machine, as of yet, cannot replicate and adapt fast enough to stay ahead of what the machine is becoming. This is a very different person than the one on the resume often in front of you. Now, think about how Elon Musk hires. Nobody in modern business has built more extraordinary teams across more completely different domains. And he has done it repeatedly, not just once. His method is almost offensively, actually kind of simple. He asked you to walk him through the hardest problems you ever had solved, not the most impressive project, the hardest problem, because genuine depth leaves fingerprints. The person who actually wrestled with something difficult knows the false paths, knows the obvious answers that have failed, knows the exact tenure or texture, pardon me, of the moment that things actually broke. You cannot perform that knowledge. It is either there or it is not. And it becomes obvious, especially to someone like him, within minutes. He watches how people reason when they are uncomfortable. And what did I say earlier? Get comfortable with the uncomfortable. I want people who are, of course, smart. I want people that adapt. I want people that are AI savvy and native. I definitely want them to be resilient. There's another trait that I look for. I want them to be obsessed. So Elon, pardon me, watches when they're uncomfortable, not whether they stumble, because we all stumble, whether they get more precise or less precise under pressure, whether they slow down and think or accelerate towards the nearest plausible answer. Whether they say, I don't know, when they genuinely don't know. The last one matters more than I think almost anything else. The person willing to say, I don't know, is the person you can trust when what it actually matters. And he is completely, meaning Musk, indifferent to credentials. Now, maybe I'm exaggerating that a little bit, but you get the big picture. A degree, he has said, is just evidence that a person can learn things and get things done. And if you can demonstrate that without one, then the degree is kind of a non-factor. He's not interested in the story you have been told about yourself. I'll put it that way. He is interested in what you actually produce. Now take the framework and apply it to, in my example, a family office in 2026. You often have a small team. Every single person, this is going to apply to most of you, sharpens the whole operation, or how about quietly blunts it? There kind of is no middle ground at this scale, no place for mediocrity to hire. The person you need is not the one who interviewed beautifully and came with the right firm on their resume. And don't forget, the one thing the family office must do brilliantly is hire. You know, they don't build statues for committees. They build it for people. One individual can make a difference. It is the one who can walk into an ambiguous problem with incomplete information and move it forward, who picks up new tools, including, yes, AI tools, not because anyone told them to, because they were genuinely, internally, what did I say before? Obsessed with excellence, obsessed and driven to be more useful than they were yesterday, who challenges your thinking, not to be difficult, but because they cannot pretend to agree with something they think is wrong. And you want people that are yes people, that kiss your butt, that don't adapt. That is wrong. The person probably makes you even slightly uncomfortable in that first conversation. It's probably good. The family offices that are going to define the next decade are the ones building teams right now that look nothing like the teams that may have won the last decade. They are using the freedom they have, the freedom that kind of no institution has, to hire people the corporate machine would have rejected. People who are wired for this specific moment right now in history, who are not waiting for the AI landscape to stabilize before they engage. Come on, because it is never going to stabilize, and waiting is the same as surrendering. You're surrendering ground that you will not get back. The window to build this kind of team is open right now. Right now. 3 years from now, the gap between the family offices that figure this out and the ones that are still running on the old playbook will not be closable. Not difficult to close. I think they just won't be closable, because the compounding advantage of the right people with the right tools at the right moment does not give you a second chance to catch up. You have freedom to hire differently than every institution in the market. Family offices, single family offices, use it. You have the resources, you have the capital, use it. I've been 20 years inside the ecosystem. I mean, honestly, really of hundreds of billionaires. And here's the truth. Nobody in this industry wants to say out loud. Most family offices are in today's world, you're one bad decade. I was going to say year. Let's go a decade from being irrelevant. The ones that survive regimes, technology disruptions, and generational transitions, they usually don't do it by luck. They are built differently from the inside out. And honestly, that is exactly what my 20 years inside the world's most sophisticated billionaires, family enterprises, and family offices that I helped to teach you. The frameworks, honestly, are all inside becoming a member of my SFO continuity, my private intelligence and strategy membership community built around incredible entrepreneurs, highly successful individuals, families, and their family offices. And this all comes back to my conversation today. And I go back to what I said. The best family offices still, even with technology and great systems, to this day, the best family offices do one thing brilliantly: hire. Now, we could talk about maximizing the capability of your people, about retention. I mean, like a great professional sports team, some of your talent is going to get poached. Who do you have coming up in the ranks? How do you identify talent? How is AI adapting everything? You could do more with less, better and faster. And there's no question there's going to be a shift in the people, technology, and systems. And no, it's not going to take 20 years for that to play out, but we'll save that for a bit of a different time. For now, incredible people that are not yes people, that are obsessed, that are resilient, and are going to be additive within the framework of what you want. If you are building a family office and you don't desire excellence, then why are you bothering? Just go to a generic bank, MFO, or institution. You're doing this because you believe in, well, that's why I called my membership group SFO continuity. You believe in continuity of your excellence within your family and for generations to come. And the value that you internally want to provide, nothing can beat an excellent, but that's the challenge, the word excellent. Nothing can beat an excellent single family office. I'll debate anyone, anywhere, anytime. I want a team of incredible people with great systems and technology dedicated 24/7 just to me, just to me. But how do I recruit that level of resource? Do I make them too siloed in one entity? Do they get bored? Do they need to engage with other relationships to expand their horizon? I don't have easy answers for you. It's complex, and who they are internally and where they are at this point in their career, their age, their experiences. And yes, you could still build excellence in a single family office definitively, having less than $1 billion. Although more money, well, more money, more problems, but it does give you more resources to play with and be at hand. So although I know I've been very AI centric, very investing centric, and a lot on geopolitics, because that's so important over the last 2 months, I never forget where I came from, which basically I've always had a love affair, I guess, with the incredible Peter Drucker, the greatest practice management consultant of all time. That still is anchored in my belief and philosophy. And a lot of the work that I do with family offices and my members are based around architecture, structure, excellence of your talent. Again, because talent, people is still number one. And practice management to get the best out of them and pay them properly, overpay them. There are some people in your organization probably doing similar roles, and the person who's excellent could be 10x the value that it brings to you and your family than the next person. But are they paid 10x? Probably not. Whoa. These are deep subjects. And I hear the traditional people in recruiting and compensation, many of them friends of mine, many of them that I learned from and could still learn from and provide value. But a lot of them are repeating the same things that they've been saying decade after decade. They do not understand how the industry is changing, the world is changing, and a lot of it around different dynamics, not just geopolitically, but obviously around AI. They are, when you get older and you have a level of success and comfort, you let ignorance, fear, kind of get in the way of you adapting. And that's bad. And in today's world, I'm not so sure that you don't have to adapt a lot more frequently than you did even 2 or 3 years ago. So yes, I disagree with a lot of the content coming out from a lot of people, from the people in compensation community. And I think the future of the family office and talent, and I did some of this with Dr. Alexander Wisner-Gross and some other solas I did after that, are going to be completely changing. Not today, not tomorrow, not necessarily next year, but not 10 years out either. And how do you be employable? And how do you also, as a family, build excellence and adaptability in the family office? Well, that changes. But I think today I laid for you a groundwork. And no, it's not you building an HR practice internally in your family office. If it's a huge family office, there may be some value to that, but a lot of that could be automated. And you're hiring people that are often very, very biased in their perception, in their leaning, their education that they learned in school, and what they bring to HR. I want nothing to do with them. Like, laughable, laughable. Yet you crawl to them as if they're bringing you this incredible, and you're covering your butt, and they're bringing you these incredible people that are that of course agree with their philosophies and how they feel. Groupthink happens on both sides of the ledger, whatever words you want to use. Just, man, this industry, it's going in the wrong direction. The wrong direction. There's so much, man, that I have to say that I had been saying. And now you know why the others in the industry probably don't invite me to debate. Like, I don't need a solo role. Just put me with someone that has a different perspective and let's debate. I'm happy to do so, but the industry is afraid. They like vanilla. They like down the middle. They don't like an Italian guy from New York that maybe raises his voice a little bit. Oh, I'm mixed with multiple different cultures, but that is one of them. And I never said I was the sharpest tool in the shed, but I'm a damn resilient son of a gun. And I do like to take the opposite side of the coin, to think contrarian, and to challenge effectively the status quo. And I see what's happening with AI, and I feel that so few others get it. Oh, don't worry. I'm safe. You're safe. You got 30 to 40 years. Complete malarkey. They're so ignorant. Like, it's embarrassing. Embarrassing. You say my timelines might be a little too quick. They may be too slow. Things are happening very, very quickly. Some broad comments and questions from your perspective, like, what is the tech stack a family office should have? Man, that is changing so rapidly. What are the goals of the family office? What is the purpose? What is the resources you currently have with your people? Are you going to spend lots of money on technology? They're not going to maximize it? That's probably the case. Are they really behind it? Do they see a motivation for excellence in what you want to build? So there's an AI tech stack that I talk about that is part of my AI masterclass and for my members that I share proprietary information on. And broadly, a lot of these SaaS services that a lot of you all are using in aggregation, reporting, and accounting, you could create variations of that. Maybe at the moment, not quite as good, but instantly with effectively vibe coding, Claude Code, and other platforms. I'm a non-techie. I've done it. It's excellent and it's near free compared to the tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands that you're paying now. And when I last created a whole bunch of apps in October, that was like ages ago. It's gotten so much better and easier. And imagine by the end of this year, SaaS, software as a service, for the most part within the family office world, you are toast. You are done. Okay, maybe not at the end of this year. Within 18 months to 3 years, it's over. Over. Family offices, you could do this internally. The resources are kind of there now. They're only going to get better and better. So, like, you want me to name services on aggregation reporting, I could give you the usual suspects. They're well-meaning, they're good, often cumbersome and complex for many of you to use and get the best out of. You could just do a lot of this internally now and imagine how it's going to be, like I said, end of the year, a year and a half, 3 years. It's going to be so easy. These companies are effectively toast. They're going to try to develop a moat, try to rope you in, try to make it where it's hard for you to exit, even though their price points are going to be egregious to effectively near free that you could internally build. And it's already there. They don't have any motivation to tell you about this. Why should they? I don't care about their sponsor revenue. 90% of my revenue comes from families who are members. That makes me completely different. I respect Family Office Exchange. I respect parts of Camden and IPI. Even the old guard there, Barney and those guys at Triple C, like, they're at least real membership-driven organizations, not totally dependent on sponsors. I built something where, again, most of our revenue, vast majority, over 90%, comes directly from families and family offices. That allows me to build agendas and programs that are very, very clean. I don't care about conflicts. I don't care if you're offended by what I say. Like, if I think what you're doing is not a good fit or bad in private credit or this or that, I just say so. Like, I actively look for debates and conflict. Maybe that's a sick part of me I shouldn't be so proud of. Hey, So your question's a good one. I actually have a member Zoom today at 4 o'clock Eastern where some of that subject on a tech AI stack and again, more so a tech AI stack is going to come up. So these are great subjects. Again, the big three are going to be people, technology, and systems. And boy, that technology, that's really moving fast up there in the ranks. I just think most of you settle for mediocrity in your careers and what you hold a standard of your family office to. I just want trustworthy. We don't need to be excellent. We need to be just good enough. That's it's just not part of my DNA. And I fail. Oh, I fail more than my fair share. But strive to be incredible. Strive to be great. Whether it's entering above 55-year-old bodybuilding competitions, being competitive, building excellence in the family office, whatever you're doing, why isn't excellence just innate? Being obsessed about something. I mean, maybe being a creator and company builder, because in my case, 100% of the equity now, but like I'm driven by that. It's my company. It's my blood. It's my blood, sweat, and tears. I don't want to sit in a chair when I'm too old wondering what I could have done. I much rather have had the guts, the gumption, the initiative to do so, even if I fail miserably now, knowing I might have jumped off the cliff and built a parachute on the way down. We could debate that. This is such an exciting time. I want your family office, your company to be incredible, to be excellent. So I went off, as I sometimes do, in a little bit of a tangent today. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you walk away from one thing that could provide value, then I guess I did good. Remember, they don't build statues to committees. One incredible person could make a difference. Do one thing brilliantly. Brilliantly, you almost can't fail in the family office. Hire incredibly well. Don't forget, family offices were originally designed for capital preservation, long-term growth, and multi-generational continuity, one of my favorite words, but in a relatively stable economic and political landscape. That world absolutely does not exist in any aspect at the moment. Your family office, your entity, your company, your holding company, I don't care. For you to win, you better be ready. And you're listening to people recycling the same garbage, telling you things you want to hear, and not being direct with you. Go to angelorobles.com, become a member, learn more. And you already missed out on Miami, 4 incredible days in Palm Beach, other private member initiatives, including online. But right ahead, in 2 weeks, I'm off to Puerto Rico. Members are invited to an incredible series of programs on the beautiful island of Puerto Rico. Going straight back to Palm Beach from there, we'll be doing something at National Polo in Palm Beach and some other gatherings the days to follow. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you're all going to be a part of it. Off to Beverly Hills early May, doing a whole bunch of lunches and soirees for members there. Got a whole bunch of soirees, breakfast and lunches in Greenwich in New York during the summer, a little bit of Newport, a little bit of the Hamptons, and then a larger scale event, second only to my big 4 days in Palm Beach in New York come September, and then many things wrapping up in Vienna, Cayman Islands, and New York, and maybe Mexico City to wrap up the year. It's an incredibly busy time being around your peers, being around true, deep intellectual content and thought leadership, not just a glorified event company. Where's the intellectual rigor there? It's not. I didn't even mention my master classes. June 23rd and June 24th, immersive 2 days in person with the world's greatest family office and investment instructors in the world of immersive AI is my AI Family Office Masterclass in New York City. It's all up on my website. Members are in. Simple as that. We keep it intimate. We try to cap it at the most at 10 or 11. I'll do multiple during the year. And later in the year, some of my other programs, my handbooks that I created, creating a top 1% family office, over 700 pages in a handbook. Members get that. And sovereign risk and disaster prep for family offices, very unique work that I do, also above 700 pages. Well, it's me. What do you expect in a handbook? Both of those are going to be converted to probably day and a half in-person immersive master classes in New York and or Florida. So it's a busy year. There's still lots more to do. There's lots of incredible content and access that you get. Go to angelorobles.com, look into membership, and if it's for you, jump in and you're just going to be immersed in activity like right now. There's no wait. You're going to jump right in. Everyone, I'm Angelo Robles. Thank you for some of the comments. Some of the comments that even challenged some of my thoughts and assumptions. Bravo. I am okay with that. I am not afraid of the other perspective. And you might be right. There's things that I could learn from. I appreciate all of you. Thank you all so much, and have a great day.